Okay, so we continue with taking apart the Aperture assembly. It seems to work pretty good, so there's not really anything wrong with it. But I just want to show you how you can dig into it. If there is, well, there could be oil, the aperture could be very sticky and it couldn't work. If so, the first thing is that we do set a mark here. It is very important because if this ring doesn't sit correct, it will actually affect the front helicoid, so it will not sit correct. So if you see here, if you put this ring in wrong and not have the mark, well, this ring might sit over here or here or here, whatever. I hope you get it. It is important. So so we simply begin with taking off this ring. It sits with 1, 2, 3 set screw. And I will unscrew it with a 1.2 millimeter. So just so we know it, you have to set marks here. It is very important. So if the screws here are quite stiff, which was in my lens, we just need some isopropylalcohol. And we can just add it on a cotton bud here and simply add it here, there, just let it suck in. You can probably add more than you would think of, and we can just, when you unscrew them, just make sure you just wiggle a little with the screwdriver, so the screws will be a little loose and just little, and then you can not fully unscrew it, just unscrew it a little, loosen it, so you know where they are. And then we take the other one, just loosen it a little, and then the last one. The ring will not fall out. You have to unscrew it, which I will show you. And then, so here we are. Now, we have to unscrew it counterclockwise, right? There are 2 holes here, one there and there. And for that, I will actually use a compass, not the cheap one, which is very wobbly. Those are the rigid one with a lock screw. And then we can just unscrew it, just have it into there, so, and then I can just unscrew it, hold it, oh, one of the screws maybe are not far enough out, so I just have to, so there, so I think it will be fine. No, this one has to be unscrewed too. They have to be unscrewed more than you think at first. There. So and this one over here. So I guess it will be enough. And my mark is here. Then I should be able to actually unscrew this one. And then, so there. And then it comes off. So now we have it here. Nothing special about that, but so it is. And now we are looking into the Aperture assembly, the plate, which was sitting with 3 screws. Again, set a mark. See, those 2 marks has to sit in line with each other. As long as I set this one when the ring here was on, I also set a mark in here. I actually set 2 because I set one here on the, maybe it's possible to see, I set one here on the plate, and I also get deeper in and set a mark in here on the inside of, it will say in here. So the 2 marks are in line. To take the tension of this spring here on the back, we can actually just lift the spring up. So, well, should work. And then you can fully open it. It will stay there. And there is one thing you really have to be careful of. Maybe it's easier to show here. Yeah. This little brass here. See this little here. Not the pin in the middle, but the brass, the outer, is a tube that you can see here. It sits here. You really have to take care when you take off the aperture plate moving ring. So we'll just set it to fully open, and you can just push the spring over there, or having the just pressing the pin here. It will stay open. And make sure your mark is upwards. And then we can continue with taking out the 3 screws here. So there. And this one here. I actually set a mark here, but, well, it's a scratch. That's the important thing. Oop. The holes are tight, so there shouldn't be any problem with those. Well, the mark is good to have anyway, but it's not that necessary. So now we can take this plate off. And another thing. Underneath here, there are 3 small tubes which we'll get into. So hold it here. Don't even think of switching the side. Lift it up. And then those small tubes here makes a distance, so this plate here have a little distance to the plate itself. So those 3 pipes, tubes, whatever it's called. They all have the same length, so there is no problem. So be sure to put them in and take them out. So now, then we can well, we can close it a little. It will not make any sense, but you can see how it actually works when it's in working order. So there. Now, since we have it fully closed, I would think we would be able to get the blade out, and with help from a dentist tool with a really thin flat spade kind of. You see the blade itself is sitting with the pin here that moves the aperture blades, and also the other pin that is the other pin of the aperture blade. I can dig under it, hopefully, dig under it and lift it up a little. So now the blade are actually free. Then I can take it out. See how it is. And so we can take that out. This is how it looks. They're all the same, nothing special about that. And now I can continue with the next blade. Dig under it and lift it up a little. And then we possibly can go under here and lift it out. And so on. Be very sure the pins are very tight in those small holes. So you have to be carefully not bending anything. And then again, so. Then the last one. So here we go. So all blades out, and then we can look into how this actually working. So now the spring here are back again, and you see how it actually is working here. So there's one thing which is super important. You see, there are actually a notch here, a notch here, and here, and here, right? Do not unscrew this ring. See? Because if we look closer into here, you see tons of steel balls around here that makes the aperture moving ring smooth and easy. So don't even think of unscrew it. Of course, if it's necessary, that's another thing. So be careful with that. So if there was oil, I mean, it looks like there are traces of oil in here. See the shiny color here. So there might be something. Yeah, you can definitely see if we take a cotton bud here and wipe it. Well, it's actually dirty, as you can see. So I will just give it give it a go with isopropylalcohol. And yeah, well, I will continue sooner. And now the cleaning process with the isopropylalcohol, and then I can just put the blades in here and let them stay there for a little. They're quite thin and big, actually very big. So now we can also take in the cover plate for that. And since I set a mark here in the beginning, the plate has to sit correct. It will say it has an 45-degree angle here on this side, which is facing downwards to the actual aperture assembly. So that's why it is so good to set small marks, no matter what people think of. It's much more important than you would think of. So we can just put this into a shower, a bath, and then we can have a look at this plate here, which will I can see this plate here is sit with, as I see it, 1, 2, 3 screws, and we have to move the back part of the aperture assembly, and then we can lift up the spring here, move the pin over to there, and the spring would keep the things in place. Well, it is not necessary if you don't want to do that. I can just clean the top of the plate here, but let's see how it is actually. There might be a lot of oil film, old. Not that much. But it's good to get rid of that. And then the last plate, which will is really good with the isopropylalcohol, and it all really looks really like new. So and now we can actually put all things in here. And I have my mark here, and then I can just add all of the blades here. They have to sit the correct way. See, this pin here has to sit like that. And since the aperture is fully open, we have to close it a little. See, this is how it works. So, but we need to have the spring here on the back. We need to take the tension of it. if we can do that. Like that. Hold on a second. I'll just take it out again. Oh, better put this away. And then I think I will move this all the way over here and then take the tension of the spring off. So it will stay there because we need to put in the blades with the aperture open. So this pin has to be down there. It will be more easy, as I see. And we can probably put this one in the here. Hopefully it will stay there. So the aperture is open, kind of. I mean, more open than it used to be. You see, in that way, I think it will be much more easy to add the blades. And we can just put them on here because I have to have a opened, so something like that, and then add it. So there, worked fine. Now all the blades are almost in. The last blade has to be put in, and you can see the hole where the inner pin, I will say that pin here, is actually covered by the first blade I put in. So let's see if we can manage to actually put this under. We might have to do it in a different way, but let's see how it goes. It needs some patience. There it is, and then I can swing this over here. I mean, I think it would be possible, but I need to hold on to this blade. Then the last blade I put in, I have to lift it up a little and get into the correct place, because it isn't there yet. So, okay. Yeah, it has to sit there. Okay, so now we are actually back to normal. So I would think if I close the aperture, and I cannot show it on the back, but the spring that has the tension for the blade in the ring, it will be fine. Wow, looks pretty good. And then I can add the top, the covering here. Just have to find my mark, which is here, and then not add the ring, because we need to put in the 3 spacers that has to sit in here. It will say there, there, and there. So better do that. So there, and this one goes here, and the last one, we go in here. We just had to center it with the holes so they sit correct. And then we can add the top plate here, which shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. I have my mark here. My other mark is here. So I should be able to put it in. Maybe, well, let's see if we turn it a little, then I can hopefully put it in. Can be a little tricky. Yeah, we made it. Almost. Just have to align this here. So now all the three spacers sit where they should. So we can just add the screws. And then the last one here. Oh, sorry. Now, let's see. All the blades are sitting as they should. They cannot fall out. So, wow, it's much better than it was. It was a bit slow before. And since I now have my mark here, see, the marks are all in line, then I can tighten the screws here. Not need to tighten them too much, but so it is fine. Now the aperture assembly is almost done, but we need to have this top ring, which is again connected to the front lens. And I have my mark here, and I also in the beginning, before I took it apart, as shown in the first part, there is a mark here. This mark has to end up the same place. It will say because this one has to be aligned in relation to the focus system. So now I can add this ring here, and just have to find I go in backward to find the thread, so it will catch it. Not yet. Yeah, here it is. And then maybe we can go this way. Haha, much easier. And let's see if we use number 5. Yeah, you see, you have to tighten the ring good before you screw the small set screws in. So we'll just use the whatsoever lens tool you have, and use the 2 holes here, the 2, and then we can just add it. Have to have a little more. Something like yeah, it's all fine. Then I can tighten the the 3 small set screws here with a 1.2mm flathead screwdriver. There's no need for over tighten them, but of course they have to sit good, so we'll be fine. And this one here. So there. and the last one. So now the aperture assembly is actually back to normal. Really good. And there's no need for oil anything here. No. So and then we are heading into actually I will clean the helicoids here, and then we will go into the third part of the video, which will be number 3. So see you sooner.